Figure 4 Radio.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. Lock it in.
Lock it in. Figure 4 Radio.
Hello everyone, welcome to Figure 4 Radio. It's the Mastermind Ollie Spring today in Ipswich, joined by DOA Wrestling founder, promoter, head honcho, number one guy. How do you say it? It's Alec Burnett from DOA. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I like the introduction. All of the above.
Everything. You kind of you book it, you run it, you promote it. Are you kind of a one-man team with it? Have you got anyone helping you out really?
Not a one-man team. Have been for a long time, but everyone kind of mucks in, which is good.
Yeah.
A guy, Clive Whiting, helps with a lot of it. A lot of all the little bits and bobs that people don't see.
Yeah.
You know, so. But it's not just me.
You have a team.
Yeah, everybody helps out.
Go on. So for everyone that's listening that doesn't know anything about DOA, maybe hasn't been to a show,
Why?
Yeah. What's DOA about? What as far as a promotion, and where does DOA sit in the wrestling world? Where do you kind of market yourself as, I guess?
Well, it's dynamic, over the top action. It's a little bit of everything, a little bit for everybody. Whatever you like, you're pretty much gonna see.
That's definitely what I got, because folks, I commentated for the first time last month in Yarmouth, Great Yarmouth, and that's what I told everyone.
Right?
It was, and as I was saying, there really was. There was a bit of something for everybody. There was a few comedy moments. There was a few. You got your darker characters like Damien, and you had Shogun J, and you had the bank of the adrenaline team, and it was there is a little bit of something. It kind of ticks every box rather than just flooding it in one certain style. I know some promotions do.
Yeah, I think that in a lot of cases, some promotions will come out and they'll target one specific area.
For sure.
We're going to be really good at this.
Yeah,
and they are, but then they're maybe not particularly versatile, and maybe we can kind of slide in and be kind of good at all of those things. I mean, we've got, in my opinion, we put on fantastic women's matches. We put on fantastic heavyweight matches. The adrenaline division as well, tag team wrestling, big characters. Is just a complete mixture of everything, and we're trying to appeal to everybody. We're trying to wear as many different hats as we can, but at the same time, I think we're kind of somewhere in the middle, in that you've quite often got your family promotions and like the Holdy Camp style shows, the very kind of clappy pantomime shows, and then you've got your more I hate the term, but be more sort of indie kind of wrestling shows, and I think we kind of sit somewhere in the middle, which maybe in a way is not necessarily a good thing at times, because you're trying to appeal to both markets, so you kind of have to. It's quite difficult to say, really. You kind of have to appeal to both sets whilst not giving enough of what they like to you, if that makes sense. Because if someone who goes to your Progress and places like that, and they come to our show, they're not going to want to see a really pantomime-y kind of show. But at the same time, if you've got families that are there, they don't necessarily want to see a 30-minute wrestling clip.
Yeah, they're not going to want to sit them through 7 strong style matches.
Absolutely. And then I think we're kind of walking that line in the middle.
Well, it's like a balancing act, isn't it? And I guess it's my kind of motto is I always try and keep everyone happy, but I try and keep every type of person I know, the needy people, I try and keep them kind of happy, and it's like trying to please everybody. I guess it's not hard, it's not an easy thing to do by any stretch. Has that always been the plan for a DOA? Is to do a bit of everything, or is that kind of how you settled into it? I guess
it's weird, because we kind of found. I personally think we've really found our feet this year. We've had a kind of transitional period of time.
Okay.
The year before last. Where the kind of roster was changing, the direction was changing, and I think this year we've really kind of found who we are and what we're really about. And the shows, as a result, have been really consistent this year. We haven't had a bad show this year, and obviously I'm going to say that, but I can hand on heart say that we've there was a few occasions last year where I walked away and I wasn't happy with the way the show went and the overall product, and I wasn't particularly happy on. There was a couple of occasions. This year, every show I feel has hit where it needed to hit. You know, the things that we've planned, the matches we've put on, everything's kind of hitting really nicely. Is it perfect? No. You know, if I thought it was perfect, then I should stop.
Though?
Do you know what I mean?
Perfect. Yeah.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
but nobody's perfect.
So,
so why practice? I don't know, something like that. Anyway,
don't put that on a t-shirt.
No. No. So it's not. We're not perfect, but nobody is. I think that we're in a lot better of a place, and I think, to be honest, it's cool because I think you've, in a lot of ways, because obviously you're doing commentary, you did the last show and you're doing again tonight. I think you kind of jumped in at the right time, I think, because I think the story side of things is getting really good. I think,
which helps me out at no end.
But it helps to have a commentary team that can get that across to people. You know, because it's all well and good saying, you know, here's a show. If you weren't at that show, then following what's going on is quite difficult. And even if we put up a match online out of context without commentary, you sometimes struggle to pick up the story of what's going on. Whereas if you put that match up online and someone watches it, for example, the last shows you're on commentary. To give you an example of that, the story throughout with Ash Draven, defending both championships. If you put one of those matches up online, it's perhaps slightly difficult with the main event in particular. If we put that online, which is a fantastic match, Ash Draven, Warren Banks, who had a great debut, was very impressed. A really good match, but you watch that out of context and perhaps not as good.
If that makes sense. It's a storyline thing, isn't it? Because obviously Warren came in earlier on.
You can tell the story of what happened earlier in the show to set that match up, you know, and everything going in. It just gives. I mean, if you try and watch any sport without commentary, it never feels quite right.
That's the first thing I ever noticed when I went to my first wrestling show, because I've watched wrestling for years, and I think my very, very, very first show was TNA in Wembley Arena, and the very first thing I noticed, the opening bell went, and I'm like, something's missing. And it's because there's not that voice in your head going, this is happening and that's happening.
The big promotions, I noticed that years ago when I was younger and went to WWE, and
it's weird, isn't it, when you're so used to watching it at home and you have those voices talking and telling you what's going on, to take that away. And I think that's obviously where I found. I mean, I'm not going to talk about me too much, but that's where I found my niche. Was like, well, that's something that I can definitely do, and that's the gap I can fill. And like I said, there's a few promoters like yourself who recognise that, I guess, and recognise the importance that can add to the storylines, especially if you're booking the storylines.
My start was through commentary, so so that kind of side of things, I would love to do the commentary on my own shows.
You're more than welcome to join me anytime you want.
But at the same time, I kind of feel the need if something I'm needed to do something.
That's it.
I can't just jump up and nip away and do it.
I guess that's the case where you can't wear every hat. You've got
I mean, I ring announce. Which is fine because it means like as soon as I step out of the ring, if I'm needed for something, I can run off, do it quickly, and come back. But commentary, you can't just nip away, unfortunately. I've tried finding and using different ring announcers and stuff, but I'm really, really critical because
I guess you got to be. You're the guy in charge, so
exactly. And to be honest,
it's you.
That's one of the things I worried about at the last show was that yourself and Ollie Dean perhaps were not going to know the product well enough to deliver,
which is natural.
So I was kind of listening out for little things. But luckily, it was really good, and I was really happy with it.
And you gave us the notes beforehand as well, so we kind of knew the background for most of the matches.
Yeah, I tried not to overcomplicate it, but give you a kind of gist.
You gave us enough for us to sink our teeth into.
Yeah, definitely.
So you say you started out in commentary. Let's go back to the very start. So actually, tell me, how did you discover wrestling from scratch? So you turn on the telly one day, you get taken to a show, and you haven't got a clue what to expect. When did you first actually discover wrestling as a whole?
I watched with my two brothers, my dad, a bit when I was really young.
So a bit of a family thing for you.
Kinda.
Cool.
It wasn't like we were avid and watched it all the time, but I was aware of it.
Yeah.
We all kind of had our favourites.
So was it what was that WCW, WWE?
That was WWF at the time, early 90s. So
who was your favourite then?
Favourites. It was quite weird because my dad was a big Undertaker fan, and my two brothers were Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, okay.
And I was always Jake the Snake.
Okay.
All the time.
Cool. Yeah.
Massive on Jake the Snake, and I never understood why that was until now. I kind of realised that
I can potentially guess.
He just kind of had something about him.
Yeah, that X Factor, I guess.
The promos. It was.
So I guess Undertaker's obviously the kind of dark, creepy guy. Hulk Hogan and Warrior were just bright colours and loud noises. Yeah. Whereas I think Jake was always had a bit more depth to him, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that kind of stood through. I mean, and then I didn't watch it for a lot of years, and then we got Sky. I think it was Sky Cable back in the day, and it had TNT on there, and I started watching Nitro late at night.
Yeah. So you're a Nitro guy, okay?
Yeah, so I watched.
I never really watched Nitro, but my former broadcast guy,
it's so weird. It was kind of odd because I'd go to school and I'd have all my friends, big kind of Austin and Rock and all that kind of stuff, and I'm there thinking, well, I wonder who's going to win out of Goldberg and Kevin Nash. So no one else really watched it, but I did, and I had many arguments with my brother over whether we were going to watch WWE or WCW.
Oh, okay, so it's like a Monday Night War in your house.
Yeah.
Literally. Was there any kind of specific moments that kind of got you hooked in that you remember? Because I think I know I definitely have. There was one kind of match and one moment that I went from just watching to like really getting invested, and it kind of really pushed me over the edge, I guess. Was there anything specific for you, any match or moment for you that got you, that kind of really hooked you in?
Kinda. I think that the moment I realised it kind of wrestling kind of mattered more than it probably should. It mattered more to me than everybody else. It was probably the Invasion pay-per-view.
Okay, yes.
And I'm sitting there and I'm the only one kind of cheering for WCW.
For the other guys, and
everybody else was kind of like, what are you doing? But so I'm watching that, and I thought they did it really well because they ended the show and WCW won.
Oh, okay.
But they hadn't. It was like 5-on-5 main event, and they hadn't really explained fully, but the impression they gave was whoever wins exists.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, watching
that must have been
WCW
devastating for you.
No, because WCW
like to begin
won.
with, yeah.
And literally, there was 5 or 6 of us that stayed up and watched it around my friend's house, and we were sitting watching, and they did it so well. They had WCW won, and then literally they had the WWF logo came up on screen. Usually it would just come up on the screen and then disappear.
Yeah.
But they had it come up on the screen, and then like this sweeping kind of slow black would make it kind of fade away, you know. And it's the first time they'd done that, and it kind of silence, and it just made the whole room that we were in go black. And I was just, and no one really could believe that it happened.
Okay.
And I was kind of like, I was watching it, and my brain was always thinking, okay, so what now?
Yeah.
What next? What's this guy going to do? What's that guy going to do? It'd be cool if this guy did this, and this guy did. And I was just always booking everything in my head like, over and over again. And that's kind of like everyone else was just enjoyed it.
Yeah,
and it was fine.
You
but for
me,
I was just like,
kind of like Jake the Snake was a deeper character. You were looking deeper as well in the product.
Yeah, I think that's probably the moment I kind of best remember from kind of thinking,
awesome.
Okay.
So I haven't got to that pay-per-view yet. What I've been doing is watching every single pay-per-view chronologically from WrestleMania 1, and I want to catch up to modern day.
Jesus.
I'm about 4 or 5 before the Invasion pay-per-view. So
really?
I'm gonna look forward to that without a doubt. So how did you make the step from watching Invasion to then, you say commentary was your thing, so how did you get involved? As you say, kind of more as involved rather than just being a fan.
So me and my wife moved. We now live in Great Yarmouth, so we were a little bit closer to a local promotion. So we were just on the doorstep from WAW. Run by the Knights. So
it's weird that I've never quite understood how that area of the country has kind of been a bit of a wrestling hotbed, I guess, for people like where you said that the people of the Knight family and the people that have come out of it, it's bizarre, I find. Because you obviously you'd expect it from London and Birmingham.
Bizarre on the whole.
That's true.
So,
that's true. Because my in-laws live there, so I've obviously visited quite a few times, and it's a weird town to live in. I would have thought.
Yeah, it's strange. It's strange. But I was a bit closer to there, so I kind of sent a message across to Ricky Knight. Went over and met with him.
How long ago was this?
2012.
Oh, okay.
So expressed a bit of an interest in getting involved, but I knew that I wasn't going to be getting in the ring. So
yeah.
And they said, "Well, come and do a bit of commentary, see how that goes."
Just like that.
I got
Cool.
initially got on really well with Zach Knight. He kind of liked some of the ideas that I had, but I had no grounds to kind of have any ideas really.
Yeah.
I was just
So was that your first taste of indie wrestling, or had you been to other shows beforehand?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Wow.
I'd been to a couple of local shows and stuff, but nothing really. But the issue I had was that I went and I kind of had this mindset of I've got this head full of ideas, but I perhaps at the time didn't get them across in the right way.
Yeah,
which I think is what caused some eventual kind of the reason I stopped working there was because it was weird. I'd see something that I didn't like, and I'd say I didn't like it, but I had no previous kind of track record to say that I knew better.
That's the I guess like you've got to. This is one thing I found as well, is when I've tried to give people feedback, a lot of it, like especially when I was new and still fresh into it, no one really listened to me. I guess because we hadn't been around that long and kind of
and I think I kind of got the message from Ricky Knight was very much, if you think you can do better.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. We're on perfectly fine terms. You know, everyone seems to think there's this massive kind of beef there. There really isn't. Yeah. I'll be working again with them as it's a one-off, but we'll be working with them in September. So there's no issue there. But it was kind of, if you think you can do better, then go and try. And I was okay. I will.
Is that
where
DOA was kind of founded?
Yeah.
So I guess he kind of egged you into it, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. But the funny thing is, the first ever DOA show was the night after Ricky Knight's retirement show.
Okay.
He's back now.
Yeah.
But at the time was his retirement show, and everyone still at that point, they thought that there was an issue, and yet on that weekend he asked me to commentate on what was going to be his last ever match. Wow. And Zach Knight was the first DOA heavyweight champion the night after, but yet people still thought that there was issues. So it's kind of strange.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how you get to that conclusion. So he retired one night, and then did he retire from? No,
Zach Knight won the DOA title the following night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he was our first heavyweight champion.
Cool. So when was the first DOA show? Was this?
That was I should really know the date. 5th of October 2013.
Okay, so a year after you kind of got into the commentary.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Well, so it actually was quite quick for you.
Quite a quick turnaround. Yeah.
So what kind of went through your head?
Cocky young man who thought he knew better. And then went through the process of learning every lesson the hard way.
So
for several years.
How did you go through that? Because I've been in plenty of little kind of mini groups of people who go, we should make our own promotion and blah blah blah, and it never makes it past the stage of let's get ourselves a name, and usually they get three initials and then they give up on the thing. What kind of process did you go for you as far as getting together a promotion?
Stubbornness.
Yeah.
I kind of in my head had gone, well, if I don't do it myself, I was kind of like, well, I'm not going to be able to, at that stage, I'm not going to be able to work for someone.
Okay.
Just for the simple, I thought I would get in the same issues that I had at WAW. At the time, I definitely 100% thought I knew better. I didn't. I just thought I did.
Yeah.
But I just figured if I can get my ideas across on my own show, then it'll kind of prove a point.
Yeah.
But I always said from the start, and this is a lesson that kind of has kind of rung true, is I still to this day don't see myself as a businessman of any sort. and I'm a booker. Do you know what I mean? That's the side of things I enjoy.
Yeah.
Developing the characters, the stories, the matches. What you see on the show. That's what I'm all about. You know, but the actual business side of things, it's kind of taken a longer to kind of get used to.
I guess if you haven't got that background with it, then it's,
but if you have the mindset of you spent all your years watching televised wrestling, so you'll watch WWE, WCW. I used to watch. I had tapes and used to watch all of the old. I had like a massive library of all the old Smoky Mountain stuff.
You still got that stuff?
Yeah, I've got all of it.
Wow, that's going to be worth a fortune.
It's got to be worth a bit. Yeah. So all the I think I've got every episode of AWA from for a span of about 20 years.
Jeez.
Even the old Pink Room stuff, which you might not even know what that is.
I don't think I do, if I'm being honest.
Basically, they had got to the stage where their draw was so bad, they decided to start filming television without a crowd. And the room that they chose to, because they said it looked better to film in front of no one intentionally, than to
try and draw
look
a crowd
like
and fail.
You're trying to draw and you've only got 20 people there. So, but the problem is the room they used was a room that was painted baby pink.
Wow!
So the whole thing was in this baby pink room, and it was absolutely.
Is that likely to be on the network?
Yeah, I think it is on there. There's a match on there. That is a Thanksgiving turkey on a pole. There was an actual raw turkey on a pole in a pink room.
Was Vince Russo involved in this in any way?
No. I think he was nowhere to be seen at that stage.
Or was this maybe where he got the idea from?
I think these are contributing factors to why it didn't last much longer than that. Yeah. But so I used to watch all the odd sort of televised stuff. But so then when you start doing indie shows, you don't have necessarily a consistent roster from show to show.
Yes. Yeah.
Plus, if you did, fans would get bored of the same 12
definitely
people. Definitely
seen that happen firsthand.
So it's difficult. You kind of have to tell stories in a very different way to how you would on television. Plus, these are all sort of lessons that I learned very early on, because I went in initially with the mindset of, okay, so I've got these guys, where do I want to be in a year? Like, this is the story I'm going to tell. And then I'd message someone and they go, oh no, I can't do that date. Like, what do you mean you can't? That kind of throws my whole plan out.
Thing, like your storylines are kind of stuck.
I was like, what do you mean you can't do it? You should prioritise me, the promotion that started 3 weeks ago. It was kind of difficult to get my head around to begin with, but I just think that the toughest thing was, and still to this day, the challenge is different towns as well, because you want to keep a consistent story across your whole promotion, but at the same time you've got fans that will only watch you in one town, in the town where they live. So sometimes what we tried to do is each venue will maybe have their main feud at that time. Okay. So say for example we have something running here in Ipswich, and maybe in Yarmouth we just have that kind of tick along. But the main storyline points, the main bits of the story happen in that one town, Ipswich.
Okay, that's
but it ticks smart, along in Yarmouth. You know what I mean? So, and then Yarmouth will have its own kind of main feud. We've done quite a lot with Damien against Doan, the Viking, and their feud mainly happened in Yarmouth. Whereas a lot of the Peter Nixon stuff has happened elsewhere, away from Yarmouth. So we've tried as best we can. I think it's kind of working, but we're getting more and more fans that are literally travelling to see us, which is really, really cool. When you see faces that kind of live a couple of hours away and they've driven in the car, and you almost feel guilty taking money off them because they've just spent 40 quid on petrol. But it's nice though. I think that's we've got that kind of feel to it where we try to make every show a show where there's something on there you don't want to miss.
So you talked about like not really having a solid core. Did you have any kind of people that you look at and say like they're DOA guys, or like anyone that's kind of...
It was difficult because because in my mind I see guys as DOA guys because they've been with me since the start.
Okay, so
but at the same time
Who was on the first show? Do you remember?
I can tell you the whole card.
Let's hear it. Let's go.
Okay, so opening match, first ever DOA match, was Richard Parliament versus Inferno Dragon.
You know my thoughts on Richard Parliament.
He's fantastic.
He's a guy that I've never seen outside of the Boot Camp series.
He was a massive part of the first couple of years.
Yeah.
Won our heavyweight championship as well, and had a good run with that.
Cool.
So yeah, that was the first match. Won by Richard Parliament.
Yeah.
With a backcracker.
Okay.
There you go. I could probably tell you every finish to every match that's ever occurred in like
but
40
that's your job as a booker, I guess, is to kind of
because you never know when you're going to have to reference it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Second match on that show was Doan, who's still with us.
Still here.
So obviously you probably consider him a DOA guy since he's been in from the start. Doan versus a guy called Sean Simmons, who is not wrestling anymore.
Okay, can't say no.
He came out of the Falling Star Academy. Really promising. It's a shame that he stopped. Sean Simmons won that with a code breaker.
Wow.
I don't know why I remember all this.
It's cool though. It's cool.
Yeah, third match on there was Peter Nixon.
Okay.
Against LJ Heron.
Peter Nixon rings a bell. I think LJ Heron's still going to this day. I think he's over in Leicester, I think, now.
Yeah, he's based out of Nottingham. Came through House of Pain with Sticks.
Yeah.
He won our heavyweight title. He was one of our first. He was the second heavyweight champion.
Cool.
And he used to get crazy heat.
Yeah.
I'd love to get him back. I think that'd be quite a good thing because we have fans who came and started watching DOA after he left, and quite often ask us, you know, we'd like to see him. So if he listens, you know,
we'll tag him.
Get in touch.
Probably cheeky Facebook tag him.
Yeah, that's it. So it's him against Peter Nixon, and that was LJ Heron won. It was I believe it was a ref bump. Low blow spear, I think.
This is crazy. I'm not. This is like, I thought I'm the mastermind for wrestling, but this is impressive.
It was ref bump, low blow, spear. Done.
Wow.
And that was that was good. Main event in the first half was Battle Squad Awesome.
Yeah, in fact, I recently commented on them for the first time last weekend.
Yeah. So they've been around a long while.
Wow. That's Danny Chase and Dave Andrews.
That's it. Yeah. They were on with Special Edition, which Brad Slayer and Kip Sabian, who are both on tonight's show. So they've both been since the start. Good friends of mine. Actually worked my day job with Brad Slayer. So
okay, cool.
So yeah,
do you mind me asking what your day job is?
I work in a very boring call centre.
Okay, I've done that.
It's great fun.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's great fun.
You couldn't pay me enough to go back to a call centre now. Now that I'm out. Yeah. So that was the first half.
Cheers for bringing that up.
First half main event.
That was for the tag titles. The first tag champions, which Special Edition won.
Yeah.
And what was the finish?
You don't have to recall it.
No, I do. I will be. It's going to bother me.
I will be very impressed.
So it was Brad Slayer locks on a chicken wing, and Kip super kick into the guy in the chicken wing, and as he does a super kick back into the chicken wing, and he tapped out.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's a cool.
It's really good.
Yeah. So I was going to say four matches in the first.
Yeah, and there was 3 in the second. So opened the second half with Alex Young against Miguel Ramirez.
Can't say I've heard of either of those guys. But.
Alex Young he's one of the main kind of cruiserweight guys at WAW.
Okay.
One of their main cruiserweights for a lot of years now. Miguel Ramirez, a guy called Mike, who is from Austria. I'll say his real name because I don't think he's working anymore. So
okay,
I'm not giving the game away too much. But they went to a time limit draw. It was really
that never happens.
It was really good.
Wow, never really see time limit draws anymore.
And they didn't get their 5 more minutes.
Yeah,
we didn't give it. We stuck to that. So they did time limit draw. Ladies match, Miss Mina from Norway was over, and she was against Addie Starr from Canada. And that was really good.
An Addie Starr match.
Yeah, that was really good. And Mina won. And it was kind of from the ropes kind of rebound cutter kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be fair, you could be making all of these up, but
yeah,
still,
you can check them. The entire show is on YouTube, so you can check every single one of these if you like.
Cool. I believe you, man.
The main event was Zach Knight, heavyweight title, 2 out of 3 falls against Luke Hawks.
Cool.
Who's
that name definitely rings
he's
a
an
bell.
American guy, done WWE's version of ECW. I think he wrestled for ECW, Ring of Honor.
Wow.
He's been all over the place, and that was really good.
That sounds good.
Now the challenge here would be all 3 falls, wouldn't it?
Yeah, true.
I know the last one was a submission.
Well, that's the one that wins the match.
Right?
Yeah, that's the one that won the match.
It was kind of a weird kind of abdominal stretch choke thing. It's quite difficult to describe, but
that's quite some skills, man. That's quite some skills.
Yeah.
So as far as
so
people,
show 2 was
we could do this all day long, but
it probably could.
So who is there anybody that you haven't yet booked that you are really wanting to get on a DOA show? Is there anyone? Do you like this? For me, I always think that if I was ever booking matches, I've kind of got like a bit of a list in my head of the people I would definitely want to get on and what I'd book and who would be against who. Have you got a similar list?
There's a few, but a lot of them have happened.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of in a position at the moment where the people I want to book are perhaps not the ones people would expect.
Okay.
Because I like to keep my eye on kind of newer guys coming through that we can kind of bring onto a show that maybe haven't done a lot outside of their home promotion.
I guess kind of like Warren Banks and Shogun J,
guys like that, which we've kind of always done, which I really like doing. But when you hear people coming to shows and saying, we'd love to see this guy, we'd love to see this guy, you kind of have to listen. Yeah. Which is what we did with Jimmy Havoc when he was here at the venue we're at tonight. Yeah. He had a fantastic match with Hustle Malone. Yeah, which was really good. That's on YouTube if anyone wants to check
I've watched
that
out.
it. Yeah. Really good fun.
And in fact, actually, I remember this one because we were doing a podcast. Me and the Figure 4 guys were doing a podcast and we were talking about booking our dream indie cards. Okay. And my main event was, no word of a lie, Jimmy Havoc versus Hustle Malone. And I said that was it main event or was it for either way? That was one of my the first match I wrote down because those are, I said Hustle I've known for years, Jimmy I've been a fan of for years, and I always say their two kind of characters and personalities would just clash in a brilliant match. And then I think
it actually came about. It wasn't actually booked.
Okay. Okay.
It's actually came about. The match that was booked was Jimmy versus Joey Osborne. Okay, yeah. Which I was really looking forward to. A lot of people were. Joey had some issues getting back from America.
Was that during the storm?
Yeah.
The storm had,
So we had to kind of make a replacement kind of on the day, and we had Ashley Dunn and guys like that were coming from that area. Hustle Malone kind of jumped in and filled the spot. And
I'm trying to think if it was the footage that I saw in that case, because I know I kind of dream booked the match, and then like almost the next day I saw that it was either booked or it must have been released in that case. I'm pretty sure that was DOA, and that's where I first kind of saw you guys on my radar. And I was like, shit, they just booked my dream match. I need to check this out. And
the match was really good fun. People wanted Jimmy Havoc, so we give him Jimmy Havoc. He was really good. It went down really well.
And I think he's a guy that kind of can wear a number of different hats, I guess. He's definitely a versatile, because a lot of people kind of pigeonhole him into that kind of hardcore extreme style. But I've seen him work plenty of matches where weapons haven't been involved, and he's been just as entertaining.
It was quite a good little story on the show. We started the match standard. Hustle Malone, low blow, got disqualified. Jimmy takes the mic. If Jimmy Havoc matches don't end by disqualifications. If you're man enough, we'll restart the match. No DQ. People went mad for it. We had a little bit of backlash came from that from a couple of people when we put the video up, because Jimmy had encouraged some children in the front row to hit the Hustle Malone with these baking trays and things, and getting them involved. And people were whinging about it online a little bit, and then saying, that's teaching kids violence and all the rest of it. But we spoke to the kids' parents on the night, who absolutely loved it, and we're back the next time. So if the parents are happy, I'm fine.
I think the next day from that match, because that was on a Saturday if I remember rightly, and then Sunday was Sacrifice. I think, or if this
Yeah,
maybe before.
because
And I remember seeing the
Hustle had been injured.
Yeah,
and that was his first match back from injury.
I saw a little
for us.
yes. Oh no, yes.
Yeah.
Because he was saying he wasn't going to do it because he was saying he was going to give himself time off. And he said, "Do you want a match against Jimmy Havoc?" He said, "Yeah, sure." And then he thought for a second, was like, "Hang on, what did I just agree to?"
Yeah,
and
but
I saw the little scars from the match on his forehead after that. And
some good photos of that.
Yeah.
Good fun, very good fun. But we can kind of, on the subject of kind of booking people that people want to see, can give you an exclusive, which actually you already know, but
we like.
Fine. You already know, but yeah. So when we go back to Yarmouth, oddly enough, which is probably seems like a really strange booking for that venue and that crowd, but you know what, people asked.
I can neither confirm nor deny that I've already mentioned that in a message to someone getting hyped about it. But yes,
it's So CCK.
That
will be
is
debuting at DOA on the 30th of September, which is exciting.
Hell yes it is.
They will be in a match with the Ruckers,
who I have only just heard about today, but even on the car ride over, they've already got a good reputation. So
they are really good.
Yeah,
and they're a team I really like. Think very, very highly of, and I think it's a matter of time. I think before people kind of take notice, and they're being booked all over the place.
Yeah.
I think they're that good. They have potential to be that good. So if people want to see CCK, come
which
along
they
to that.
Generally do, from what I gather.
If anyone thinks that it's going to be CCK coming and kind of, if they haven't heard of the Ruckers, thinking,
it'll be a walkover.
It's not going to be.
I can't wait for it. I really can't wait.
It's going to be really good.
So that is September 30th.
Yes.
Great Yarmouth at the Lichfield Community Centre.
That's it.
Cool. Is there any? We've got shows beforehand. So what we've got? So is it
next week?
A week today. So if people are listening at the release week, then this will still be relevant.
So 2nd of September, we're at March in Cambridgeshire.
It's the one show that I can't make. The only one that I'm not going to be there for.
That's the Adrenaline Cup.
I will get
show.
my voice on that some way or other.
That's the Adrenaline Cup show,
and I guess that's the big payoff for the storyline that's been building up with all the kind of participants and the qualifying matches and. Yeah. So how does the Adrenaline Cup work?
Okay, so. Essentially, we've had the qualifying rounds on the last probably 6 months. People qualifying for the actual night. The first half of the show will be 4 opening round matches. Yeah. All 4 will then advance to the main event of the show. 4-way elimination match.
Nice.
And the idea originally was that the winner of that would then face the Adrenaline Division champion.
But
Mark Lloyd won,
as we witnessed last month,
the championship and had already qualified for the tournament.
Yes.
So what he doesn't actually know yet, he might find out later on when he during his little celebration. But this will air afterwards. Sorry, Mark. He may find out that he is defending the championship in the tournament.
So if he gets disqualified or if he gets knocked out, then if
he gets knocked out in the opening round, then whoever wins the main event will
be open game.
Yeah,
nice. That's going to be an interesting.
So that'd be cool.
God, I can't be there.
Yeah, so Mark Lloyd's in.
So that's in March.
Paddy O'Connor, who you saw,
beat
he
Tim
qualified.
Really liked Timley actually. He was a surprise.
Surprise package, wasn't he?
Yeah. So he came in short notice. Did you know much about him? Or?
I'd met him.
Was that it?
Yeah. I'd never seen him work.
As soon as he burst out that curtain, I was like, "This guy's got the charisma for it. He's whatever happens."
Yeah, nice guy. Nice guy. Yeah. I enjoyed what he did. He lost though.
Yeah.
Paddy O'Connor qualified. Kip Sabian qualified against Vaughan Vertigo at March, who's a Canadian guy who came over. Who that match was absolutely superb. Alexander Roth qualified by beating Ashley Dunn. On the same show as
I wish I could have seen.
The Havoc and Hustle Malone same show. So
I should have been that show. That's basically my dream show there, right there.
Yeah, and that was really good. So Alexander Roth qualified. Alex Cupid qualified.
Never say die. Good kid.
He beat Ali OK and Terry Izzet in a triple threat at Yarmouth. Who am I forgetting? Probably someone.
Well, there's a spot on the line today, isn't there?
There is Peter Nixon and Danny Blaze.
Yeah. And isn't Jay and Shogun Jay and Kip Sabian
Kip's already qualified.
Yeah. So that's just a challenge, I guess, for him to.
So
Shogun.
We've got. So that'll bring when Peter Nixon versus Danny Blaze, whoever wins that'll bring the entrance to 6, and then the final 2 entrants are a wild card entrant that was handpicked by me, who's never been in DOA before.
Ooh.
And if you would like another exclusive,
it's entirely up to you.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So the 8th person in it will be the man who won the first ever Adrenaline Cup, who is coming back to defend that trophy in theory. So he's back after nearly 2 years. And that's Alex Young, who I mentioned earlier on. So he was the first ever Adrenaline Division champion, won the first ever Adrenaline Cup.
So it's a historical
final against Johnny Storm.
That would have been a good one.
And it was really good.
Yeah.
Which actually aired on television.
Nice.
Which was cool.
Nice.
Really good match. That's available online as well. So, but he will be back for the first time in like 2 years, which is quite exciting as well.
That's got to be cool. So I've just noticed the time actually, so I can hear everyone.
We've been rambling away for a while.
It's all good. So I guess we'll just start. So you talk about all these matches are online. Where can they be found?
Yeah, so you can go to through Facebook, which is facebook.com/DOA Wrestling.
Yep.
The YouTube channel, so that's Dynamic Over the Top Action YouTube channel. Also through the website, all the links to all the social medias on there as well, which is www.doawrestling.tk. And while we're at it, Twitter as well is @DOA Wrestling UK. So tomorrow, which won't be tomorrow because this won't go out tomorrow.
It's coming out on Monday.
Okay,
so
that's fine. So to forget that. That won't work.
But we've got shows coming up in March, which is on Saturday the 2nd.
Yes.
Yarmouth on the
September 30th.
And
then we are at the New Suffolk College in Ipswich, which is a 300-seat venue.
Nice.
It's the biggest show we've ever run.
Is that what's that? Is that
that's our Spookplex City.
Spookplex, yeah,
which is
I
our
popped for that. I
our
definitely
4-year anniversary show,
Nice.
which we have former NXT Tag Champion Joel Redman.
Yep, I spotted
Oliver
that,
Gray,
which is going to be cool.
He's on there. Roy Johnson, who's in the UK WWE tournament.
Yeah,
all the guys from DOA will be there. All the favourites and a few surprises as well.
And that's October the
October the 28th.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to change the place in my phone, otherwise I'll go to the wrong.
Yeah, that's New Suffolk College. We're doing our first ever show in Cambridge City Centre on November 25th.
Yeah,
which will be announced by the time this goes out. Yeah. But that'll be announced this week.
It's coming up.
So that's Chesterton Sports Centre in Cambridge,
nice,
which we've got Jody Fleisch for the first time.
Awesome.
So he's on there. So that kind of takes us up to November, which is probably good enough for you.
Yeah. So plenty coming up, I guess, and keeping it around for. So I guess you're traveling from Yarmouth to Cambridge for that show. Yeah. So actually, I'm going to have the quickest drive home out of us for that one, for the first time ever.
Yeah, lovely. That's the only reason I run Yarmouth.
Yes, which makes sense. Yeah.
Literally, I can be tucked up in bed by about 11.
I am very jealous. I think it was about 2 a.m. we got back last time, but it was good fun anyway.
Enjoy that, mate.
Well, we'll go get stuck on with the show today.
Nice
but thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
There we have it, folks. DOA promoter, head honcho himself, Alec Burnett. Pleasure to have him on Figure 4 Radio. As you can tell by my voice, I think it's safe to say the DOA show we were at was a definite success. You can always tell how good a show is by how husky I sound the morning after. And tell you what, DOA did not disappoint. If you don't already, give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/Figure4Radio. Give us a like, subscribe, share, follow, stalk, whatever else you do on social media. We're on Instagram, we are on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, which is at F4R_Mastermind. Of course, there's a website, figure4radio.weebly.com. youtube.com. We have our YouTube page, youtube.com/F4TV. We do upload our archives to YouTube. Every single Thursday, we do a Throwback Thursday, and we put an old episode on Figure 4 Radio up onto YouTube to make room for this new content that we bring you every single Monday on iTunes, Stitcher, Podomatic, TuneIn Radio app. Anywhere you get your podcasts, you can find us there. And of course, if you are a wrestling promoter, if you're a wrestler, you want this slightly husky voice all over your product, do get in touch either on Twitter or on Facebook. Drop us a message. You can find me at Wrestling League, 2nd of September. That's going to be in Ipswich. But of course, if you don't want to go to Ipswich, you want to go to March, you can check out the DOA show as well. I'm going to use the magic of technology to make sure I'm on both of those shows. Keep your eyes peeled for details on those. A few weeks later than that, September the 16th, I will be at Good Wrestling, probably just to watch and enjoy myself, but it's a good product nonetheless, pun fully intended. The following day is, of course, Sacrifice Pro Wrestling, Leighton Buzzard, September the 17th, my hometown, my home promotion, as it were. That's building up to be another solid show that you definitely want to make yourselves aware of. Following Friday, 22nd of September, I am making the trip up north to Hope Wrestling up in Sheffield. That one is going to be a fun night. It's their second show in Sheffield. Then the following weekend, DOA, 30th of September, Litchfield Community Centre in Great Yarmouth. As we heard Alec announce, there is going to be the appearance of CCK in the Litchfield Community Centre in Great Yarmouth. That one is going to be absolutely insane. And the following day, I'm off to Swansea. So from the absolute east coast to the absolute west, myself and Killer Kai Brand will be reuniting on October the 1st for Exposure Wrestling Entertainment in Swansea. Not too sure what's happening on that one yet, but it is going to be fun. Nigel always puts on a great show. Flash forward into October, I'm making my Pro Wrestling Foxes debut up in Manchester. Pro Wrestling Foxes on Facebook. That one is going to be a very, very fun show to call. Of course, now Hope Wrestling, LCW, and Foxes all signing up to Fight TV. So Mastermind is going worldwide. That is going to be awesome. We have Sacrifice on October the 15th, followed by a very, very big weekend 2 weekends later. Foxes in Coventry on the 27th of October. DOA in Ipswich, and that's their 4th year anniversary show. Alec was telling me all about the new venue they've got in Ipswich for that, and it sounds absolutely insane. October the 28th, I think he's calling it Spookplex City. Best show name ever. Cannot wait to be part of that show. And then the following day on that, the Sunday the 29th, again, myself, Killer Kai, will be in Newport, South Wales, for Exposure Wrestling. We've got more going into November, but that's a little bit far off right now. But either way, do check out DOA, do check out Wrestling League, Sacrifice Pro, Hope Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Foxes, Exposure Entertainment, the entire field of the Figure 4 team that we work with. Check them all out because they are all putting on awesome shows. But that is all we have time for this week. I'm hoping next Monday we'll be able to bring you some exclusive thoughts on the Mae Young Wrestling Classic, whatever tournament they're calling it. It's the Mae Young something, Mae Young Classic, I think it is. Hopefully bringing you some thoughts and opinions on the first few rounds with that. I'm not too sure who's going to be joining us. I have someone in mind. Let's keep our fingers crossed that it works out. But either way, join us next week for more Wrestle Talk on Figure 4 Radio.